Range is hot, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Grab your eye and ear protection because today we are diving deep into the hard retail analytics for the year 2025. We are counting down the top 5 hunting rifles flying off the shelves across America. Numbers simply do not lie. When the American hunter opens up their wallet, they are making the ultimate statement of trust. These are the exact platforms that shooters are staking their hard-earned paychecks on at the local gun counter. We are looking at everything from battle-tested, heavy-duty steel to those space-age lightweight mountain rigs. These are the absolute apex predators of the deer woods and elk camps this season. We are going to skip the basic safety manual today. Instead, we are getting right into the weeds. We are talking market shifts, hard specifications, and the undeniable reasons why these 5 setups are dominating the industry. Make sure you stick around to the very end, because the platform sitting at the number 1 spot is going to seriously trigger some of you modern polymer fanboys. Number 5. Savage 110 Ultralight. Kicking things off at the number 5 position, we have the Savage 110 Ultralight. This bolt gun fought its way onto the 2025 bestseller list for one very specific, unavoidable reason. In the backcountry, gravity is your worst enemy. We all know the old infantry saying, ounces turn into pounds, and those pounds turn into pure misery when you are humping up a steep elevation change. If you are packing deep into public land, this is your prescription. This stripped-down bolt action barely registers on the scale, coming in at exactly 5.85 pounds. That puts it in the elite category of factory featherweights, but it still delivers devastating terminal ballistics. The absolute crown jewel on this rig is that carbon fiber-wrapped barrel, sourced directly from Proof Research. That high-tech wrapping gives you a heavy barrel profile for rigidity without the steel weight penalty. Plus, it sheds barrel heat like an absolute champion. You will find this model heavily chambered in extremely flat-shooting cartridges like the .270 Winchester and the immensely popular 6.5 Creedmoor. That makes it a hyper-efficient tool for dropping game at 400 yards with absolute confidence. Down in the fire control group, Savage equipped this with their legendary AccuTrigger. You can dial that blade safety trigger anywhere from a hair trigger 1.5 pounds right up to a 4-pound hunting weight. It breaks like a frozen glass rod, which is absolutely vital when your heart rate is maxed out. They also spiral fluted the bolt body, which shaves off a few more fractions of an ounce and helps clear debris. Hunters are throwing cash at this because it essentially disappears when strapped to a frame pack. And that factory-applied multicam pattern blends seamlessly into the timber from day one. When we talk precision, Savage has completely mastered their barrel nut head spacing. With premium factory match loads, this rifle consistently punches sub-MOA groups on paper, and that stainless steel receiver completely ignores rain, snow, and morning dew. But let us be real, nothing is flawless. I have noticed, and plenty of guys at the range agree, that the stock has noticeable flex if you really lean into a heavy bipod. Furthermore, that factory action can feel a bit like dragging sandpaper across steel until you cycle a few hundred rounds to smooth out the machining marks. But if mountain agility is your primary mission, this deserves a spot in your safe. Pros: it is an absolute ghost on your shoulder, dropping in well under the 6-pound threshold. The mechanical accuracy is phenomenal, delivering sub-MOA precision right out of the cardboard box. That AccuTrigger system is easily tuned by the end user with basic hand tools. You are getting top-tier carbon fiber technology without taking out a second mortgage. Cons: the bolt cycle simply lacks that premium, frictionless glide you find in European actions. The polymer furniture can feel a little hollow, transferring more shock to your shoulder. If you step up to Magnum calibers, you are heavily restricted to a 2-round internal capacity. Your chambering options are a bit narrow within this specific ultralight family. Number 4. Tikka T3X Lite. Stepping into the number 4 slot, we are looking at the Tikka T3X Lite. This rifle has been absolutely tearing through the sales data all year. What we have here is top-tier Finnish engineering. It was born to survive the brutal sub-zero temperatures of Scandinavia, but it has found a permanent home in the whitetail woods of the American Midwest. It tips the scales at a highly manageable 6.5 pounds. That is what I call the golden ratio. It is light enough to carry all day, but retains just enough physical mass to keep your crosshairs steady when the adrenaline dumps. The heart of this weapon is a cold, hammer-forged barrel that has a verified reputation for being an absolute laser beam. I am talking about stacking holes on top of holes, easily printing half-inch groups at 100 yards with premium defensive or hunting ammunition. Whether you are pushing light varmint loads in 223 Remington or dropping the hammer on a massive 300 Winchester Magnum, the barrel delivers. But the real magic trick is the bolt. It features an incredibly short 70-degree bolt lift. That translates to a lightning-fast cycle rate, and your knuckles will never smash into your scope objective, even if you are wearing thick winter gloves. The synthetic furniture features an asymmetrical grip texture that locks into your hand, and they actually placed a foam insert inside the rear stock to completely kill that hollow plastic echoing sound. The single-stage trigger can be tuned between 2 and 4 pounds, and honestly, it outperforms almost every aftermarket drop-in trigger in this price tier. It is short enough to maneuver through thick brush, but solid enough to lock into a tripod for a long-distance canyon shot. Plus, the modular grip panels let you swap out the palm swell to perfectly match your hand geometry. It is a pure, utilitarian workhorse. It strips rounds reliably, ejects brass into the next zip code, and begs for rugged abuse. Pros: world-class mechanical precision with effortless sub-MOA consistency. That 70-degree bolt throw feels like it is sliding on wet ice. The weight distribution is practically perfect for offhand shooting. The interchangeable pistol grips allow for true custom ergonomics. Cons: the factory rubber butt pad is notoriously stiff, and it will absolutely beat you up if you run heavy magnums. It only ships with a single front sling swivel, meaning you have to buy aftermarket hardware to run a bipod and a sling simultaneously. The proprietary polymer magazines are prone to cracking if you drop them on rocks after a few seasons. That pencil-thin barrel profile will string shots from heat shift if you do a rapid-fire dump. Number 3. Ruger American Rifle. Holding down the middle ground at number 3, we have the Ruger American Rifle. This platform single-handedly proves that in 2025, buying on a budget does not mean you have to accept hot garbage. This is the ultimate working-class defender's hunting tool. It sits right around 6.2 pounds. Go to any deer camp in the country and you will see these stacked in the corner, heavily chambered in the flat-flying 6.5 Creedmoor or the battle-proven .308 Winchester. Ruger engineered a totally free-floated barrel system that routinely prints 1-inch 3-shot strings without breaking a sweat. The bolt utilizes a massive 3-lug design, which also gives you that sweet 70-degree vertical clearance to keep your hand clear of your optics. They place the safety right on the tang, making it perfectly ambidextrous and incredibly fast to disengage as you mount the gun. But the real engineering marvel is Ruger's power bedding system. They molded heavy-duty stainless steel V-blocks directly into the polymer stock to lock the receiver down tight. That means you can accidentally drop this thing out of a deer blind and your scope zero is not going to shift a fraction of an inch. The Ruger Marksman trigger gives the shooter a clean, adjustable wall between 3 and 5 pounds. It runs on a flush-fit rotary magazine that holds 4 rounds tight without protruding and snagging on your gear. Almost every model rolling off the line now features factory threads, making it completely suppressor and muzzle brake ready. And they coat the steel in Cerakote to completely laugh off rust and blood. When you can grab this off the rack for under $500, it is the undisputed king of value. It is a truck gun that performs like a sniper system. Pros: you cannot find a better ratio of dollar to accuracy on the market today. Factory threaded muzzles mean you can mount your can on day one. The rotary mag design feeds incredibly smooth and keeps the rifle profile slick. The tang safety is ergonomically superior for fast-action shooting. Cons: the fore end of the stock is notoriously flimsy, and if you load a bipod hard, it will physically touch the barrel and throw off your shot. The bolt body has deep machining grooves that make an audible zipper sound when cycled dry. You get 0 iron sights from the factory, forcing an immediate optic purchase. It carries a little more chunk than the dedicated Alpine rifles on this list. Number 2. Browning X-Bolt Speed Locking, in the silver medal at number 2. The Browning X-Bolt Speed. The hunting community cannot stop talking about this setup in 2025 because it is a highly specialized, dedicated meat harvesting machine. It is incredibly streamlined, built for fast target acquisition and absolutely optimized for suppressed fire. It hits the scale at 6.5 pounds, sporting a beautiful 22-inch fluted sporter contour barrel. I see guys buying these up in the devastating 7mm PRC and the heavy-hitting 300 Winchester Magnum. The center of gravity is completely dialed in. Browning went with a 60-degree bolt unlock, which is ridiculously fast when you need an immediate follow-up shot on a running hog. Their DLX trigger pack is a masterpiece, offering absolutely zero mechanical creep, snapping clean between 3 and 5 pounds. The composite stock is wrapped in their proprietary Ovix camouflage and coated with a rubberized, soft-touch layer that absorbs sound when you scrape against branches. At the rear, the Inflex recoil pad is geometrically angled to physically pull the comb away from your cheekbone during detonation. Straight out of the box, Browning threads on a radial muzzle brake that slashes felt recoil in half. That is a massive tactical advantage because it allows you to stay in the scope and spot your own impact. Both the barreled action and the bolt are fully protected by Cerakote to survive torrential downpours. It feeds from a polymer rotary magazine that stacks the cartridges directly in the center axis of the bore for flawless chambering. This is the exact weapon for the shooter who wants the aesthetics and performance of a $4,000 custom build without draining their retirement account. It is surgical, it is rugged, and it looks incredibly aggressive. Pros: that 60-degree bolt throw is one of the fastest manual actions in existence. The DLX trigger provides a competition-grade brake right off the shelf. It comes fully loaded with a recoil-taming brake, ready for your NFA items. The Cerakote and soft-touch finishes make it an absolute tank in bad weather. Cons: Browning decided to use a highly unusual thread pitch on certain barrel profiles, meaning you will likely have to hunt down a specialized adapter to mount your suppressor. There is almost zero capability to adjust the length of pull for different size shooters. You are definitely paying a premium price tag compared to the budget racks. Even with the advanced recoil pad, pushing Magnum loads through a light gun is going to rattle your teeth. Number 1. Winchester Model 70 Extreme Weather SS. And here we are, the absolute top dog for 2025. The plot twist nobody saw coming. The Winchester Model 70 Extreme Weather SS. The legendary rifleman's rifle has violently taken back the throne. This platform is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the controlled round feed system. We are living in an era dominated by cheap, push-feed mechanisms, but the true professionals are migrating back to that massive steel claw extractor. This is the exact same pre-64 Mauser-style action that built this country's hunting legacy, offering fail-proof, life-saving reliability. If you are tracking apex predators in grizzly country, or staring down a blinding Alaskan blizzard, this is the only piece of steel you want in your hands. It is a beast, weighing in at 7.5 pounds and sporting a heavy 24-inch fluted barrel. The most requested chamberings are the American classic 30-06 Springfield and the powerhouse 300 Winchester Magnum. It retains the iconic 3-position wing safety on the bolt shroud. That allows you to completely lock the firing pin, but still physically open the bolt to extract a live round safely. That is a non-negotiable safety feature when you are crossing a barbed wire fence. The MOA trigger system is fully housed in steel and breaks exactly at 3.5 pounds with absolutely zero slack. They dropped this barreled action into a top-tier Bell & Carlson composite stock, reinforced with a full-length aircraft-grade aluminum bedding block. That creates a bank vault lockup for the stainless steel components. The entire exterior is coated in a matte permacoat finish to kill sunlight reflections and block out moisture. But the true selling point is that controlled round feed. The second that cartridge strips from the magazine, the massive steel claw locks onto the rim. You can literally hold this rifle upside down, cycle the bolt violently while falling backwards into the mud, and it will forcefully chamber and extract that brass without a single malfunction. It is certainly not the lightest rig on the mountain, but it is without question the most indestructible. Pros: that legendary Mauser-style claw extractor delivers life-saving absolute reliability. The heavy-duty stainless steel and composite build will outlast you and your grandkids. Winchester stands behind a strict sub-MOA accuracy guarantee. The aluminum-blocked Bell & Carlson stock guarantees your Zero will never wander. Cons. It has a reputation for being highly selective about which grain weights it will shoot accurately. At 7.5 pounds bare, it is a heavy piece of lumber to drag up a mountain. The traditional hinged floor plate takes significantly longer to reload under stress than a modern box mag. Machining massive blocks of stainless steel is expensive, and the retail price heavily reflects that craftsmanship. All right, that concludes our after-action report on the top 5 best-selling hunting platforms of 2025. Keep in mind, folks, this breakdown is purely for your educational awareness. We are strictly analyzing consumer data, factory tolerances, and tactical applications. If you gain some solid intel from this briefing, do me a favor and smash that like button right now. Make sure you hit subscribe so you do not miss our upcoming deep dives into the latest defensive and hunting hardware. And I want to hear from you. Drop down into the comments section below. If you had a once-in-a-lifetime tag in your pocket tomorrow morning, which one of these bolt guns are you trusting to get the job done? Thanks for spending your time with us today. Train hard, stay safe, and always keep your powder dry.